That might have been my boo-boo.
Yeah, I'm listed as first soldier, and also Angus is listed as first soldier.
Oh dear.
Paul should do it.
Yeah, I wanted to give you something else, Angus, after you died, and I thought it would kind of be fun.
Well, I've got Caesar's ghost.
I know, but I wanted to give you some. All right, so that's fine. So okay, it's up. Okay.
All right. Well, we're recording and we're live on YouTube. So welcome to our instant Shakespeare Company reading of Julius Caesar. Michael, do you want to say anything before we begin? Do we want to introduce who's playing what?
I think that'd be fine, and we'll take an intermission after they beat up on Sin at the end of Act 3. We'll take an intermission there, and I don't know if there's anything much to say. Forgive me, I'm doing my best to stay out of pain and talk, and I hope I'll be able to speak well. And I hope everybody has a good time and just let it flow. Did you say the afternoon was canceled?
No, it wasn't.
No, we did.
Okay.
A year ago, before the library shut.
Oh, right. Last February.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm still hearing that echo. I don't know about everybody else, but anyway, let's have fun. And that's it, I guess. I don't really have anything else to say. Everybody knows what parts they're doing. So.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just. I don't know if we want to. Do you want the Michael? Do you want the stage directions read?
That would be nice if somebody wants to do that, but I hate to put that on Angus.
I can do it.
I don't mind. You do it, Paul.
Really?
Or if you want to do it, Angus, I mean.
I can fill in on that. I'll do that.
If you want to, okay. I didn't, because I know you do a lot.
It stops me falling asleep in the big gap between Caesar's death and him coming back as a ghost.
Right. Not a lot to do.
Okay, so do we want to introduce ourselves or not? It's up to. Okay.
If you can announce the names.
Okay, I'm Michael. I'm playing Casca, Sin of the Poet, and Titinius.
I'm Tony Scheinman, and I'm playing Marcus Brutus.
I'm Stephen Brown, and I'm playing Caius Cassius.
I'm Jackie Margolis, and I'm playing the soothsayer, Artemidorus, Caius Ligarius, and a couple of servants here and there.
I'm Asher Susswine, and Morellus, Masala, and Second Plebeian, and hi, Barb. I hope you guys the show.
Angus Hepburn reading Julius Caesar, and I'll be doing stage directions.
I'm Jennifer Rosa. I'm reading Portia and Dardanius.
Kevin Quinn reading Metellus Cimber, Flavius, servant to Octavius, Decius, and Lucilius.
Did my introduction get lost?
No, heard you.
Yeah.
Erica Amato reading Mark Antony as a last-minute replacement for the lovely Thea Stefan.
Help me down. Virginia, have you done yours?
I'm Virginia Hammer. I'm doing Cinna and young Cato at the end. And I'm doing Lucius, the boy, and Octavius.
Yeah.
Lucius.
Yeah, Lucius. And am I also doing Mark Antony's servant like I wound up doing this afternoon?
I think I was Mark Antony's one of them. Mark Antony's servant. Yeah, I'm in Act 3.
Mark Antony's servant. I gave all the servants, I think, to Jackie.
All right.
Yeah, page 60 and 61. I'm the servant to Mark Antony.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Victoria?
Hi, Calpurnia, Populus Lena, and Volumnius.
Ken.
Ken Wayne, I'm doing the Cobbler, Trebonius, Fourth Plebeian, and Second Soldier.
Jennifer.
Jennifer Finger, I am doing Poeus, Lepidus, Poet, and Clytus.
And Jackie.
Oh, I already said mine.
Oh, okay. Have we covered everybody?
Yes.
So I guess everybody who's not in your scenes, we mute and hide ourselves now.
Okay. Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare. Act 1, Scene 1. Enter Flavius, Murellus, and certain commoners over the stage.
Hence, Home, you idle creatures, get you home. Is this a holiday? What, know you not, being mechanical, you ought not to walk upon a laboring day without the sign of your profession. Speak, what trade art thou?
Why, sir, a carpenter.
Where is thy leather apron and thy rule? What dost thou with thy best apparel on? You, sir, what trade are you?
Truly, sir, in respect of a fine workman, I am but, as you would say, a cobbler.
But what trade art thou? Answer me directly.
A trade, sir, that I hope I may use with a safe conscience, which is indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls.
What trade, thou knave, thou naughty knave, what trade?
Nay, I beseech you, sir, be not out with me. Yet, if you be out, sir, I can mend you.
What mean'st thou by that? Mend me, thou saucy fellow.
Why, sir, cobble you.
Thou art a cobbler, art thou?
Truly, sir, all that I live by is with the all. I meddle with no tradesmen's matters, nor women's matters, but with all. I am indeed, sir, a surgeon to old shoes. When they are in great danger, I recover them. As proper men as ever trod upon neat's leather have gone upon my handiwork.
But wherefore art not in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
Truly, sir, to wear out their shoes, to get myself into more work. But indeed, sir, we make holy day to see Caesar and to rejoice in his triumph.
Wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings he home? What tributaries follow him to Rome to grace in captive bonds his chariot wheels? You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things. Oh, you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome. Know you not Pompey? Many a time and oft have you climbed up to walls and battlements, to towers and windows, yea, to chimney tops, your infants in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day with patient expectation to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And when you saw his chariot but appear, have you not made an universal shout that Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replication of your sounds made in her concave shores? And do you now put on your best attire? And do you now cull out a holy day? And do you not strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Begone! Run to your houses, fall upon your knees, pray to the gods to intermit the plague that needs must light on this ingratitude.
Go, go, good countrymen, and for this fault assemble all the poor men of your sort. Draw them to Tiber banks, and weep your tears into the channel. To the lowest stream do kiss the most exalted shores of all. See where their basest metal be not moved. They vanish tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Go you down that way towards the Capitol. This way will I. Disrobe the images if you do find them decked with ceremonies.
May we do so? You know it is the Feast of Lupercal.
It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. I'll about and drive away the vulgar from the streets. So do you too, where you perceive them thick. These growing feathers, plucked from Caesar's wing, will make him fly an ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness?
Act 1, Scene 2. Enter Caesar, Antony for the chorus, Calpurnia, Portia, Decius, Cicero, Brutus, Cassius, Casca, a soothsayer, and after them Murellus and Flavius. Calpurnia!
Here, my lord.
Oh, Caesar speaks.
Calpurnia!
Here, my lord.
Stand you directly in Antonia's way when he doth run his course. Antonia!
Caesar, my lord.
Forget not in your speed, Antonio, to touch Calpurnia, for our elders say the baron touched in this holy chase shake off their sterile curse.
I shall remember. When Caesar says, do this, it is performed.
Set on, and leave no ceremony out.
Caesar.
Ah, who calls?
Bid every noise be still. Peace yet again.
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than all the music. Cries Caesar. Speak, Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Well, set him before me. Let me see his face.
Oh,
Fellow,
come from the throng and look upon Caesar.
what sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him. Pass. Excellent man, Brutus and Cassius.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you, do.
I'm not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, which give some soil perhaps to my behaviors. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one, nor construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other things.
'Tis just. And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you may see your shadow. I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus and groaning underneath this age's yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of. And be not jealous on me, gentle Brutus. Were I a common laughter, or did use this to stale with ordinary oaths my love to every new protester, if you know that I do fawn on men and hug them hard and after scandal them, or if you know that I profess myself in banqueting to all the rout, then hold me dangerous.
Flourish and shout.
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye, do you fear it? Then I must think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius. Yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it you would impart to me? Be it aught towards the general good. Set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look upon both indifferently. Let the gods so speed me as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as lief not be as lief to be in awe of such a thing as I myself. I was born free as Caesar, so were you. We both has fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. I was born free as Caesar, so you. And we both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he, for once. Upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. So, indeed, he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it with lusty sinews, throwing it aside and stemming it with hearts of controversy. But ere we could arrive the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink." Aye, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, so from the waves of Tiber did I, the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature and must bend his body if Caesar carelessly does nod on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. His coward lips did from their colour fly, and that same eye, whose bend doth o'er the world, did lose his lustre. I did hear him groan, aye, and that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their books. Alas, it cried, give me some drink, Titinius, as a sick girl. Ye gods! It doth amaze me a man of such a feeble temper should so get the star of the majestic world and bear the palm alone.
Shout, flourish.
Another general shout. I do believe these applauses are for some new honors to be heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonourable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is as fair a name. Sound them. It doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them. It is as heavy. Conjure with them. Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. Now, in the name of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed, that he is grown so great? Oh, age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost a breed of noble bloods. When went there by an age since the great flood, when it was famed for more than with one man? When could they say, till now, that talked of Rome, that her wide walks encompassed but one man? Now it is Rome indeed, and Rome enough when there is in it but one only. Man, you and I have heard our fathers say there was a Brutus once that would have brooked the eternal devil keep his state in Rome as easily as a king.
That you do love me, I am nothing jealous. What you would work me to, I have some aim. How I have thought of this and of these times, I shall recount hereafter. For this present, I would not so, with love I might entreat you, be any further moved. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear, and find a time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions, as this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
Enter Caesar and his train.
The games are done, and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after his sour fashion, tell you what hath proceeded worthy note today.
I will do so. But look you, Cassius, the angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look like a chidden train. Calpurnia's cheek is pale, and Cicero looks with such ferret and such fiery eyes as we have seen him in the Capitol, being crossed in context by some senators.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Antonio,
Caesar.
let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep o' nights. Yon Cassius hath a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He's a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were fatter. But I fear him not. Yet if my lame were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid as soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He is a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays, as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if he mocked himself and scorned his spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he be never at heart's ease, whilst they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore they are very dangerous. I'd rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this ear is deaf, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of him. Exit Caesar and his train.
You pull me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what hath chanced that Caesar looks so sad.
You were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask, Casca.
Well, there was a crown offered him. And being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand, thus. And then the people fell a shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why for that too?
They shouted thrice. Why, what was the last cry for?
Why for that too?
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Aye, marry was it. And he put it by thrice, every time gentler than the other. And at every putting by, mine honest neighbors shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
It can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. Did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown. It was not a crown neither. It was one of his coronets. And as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would have fain have had it. Then he offered it to him again. Then he put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. And then he offered it the third time. He put it by the third time, by and still. And as he refused, the rabblement howled and clapped their chopped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps, uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown that it had almost choked Caesar. For he swooned, fell down at it. For mine own part, I does not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But soft, I pray you. What? Did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace, and foamed at the mouth, speechless.
'Tis very like he hath the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not, but you and I and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down. If the tag-rag people did not clap him and hiss him according as he pleased and displeased them, as they used to do the players in the theater, I am no true man.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Marry, before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd was glad he refused the crown, he plucked me ope his doublet and offered them his throat to cut. And I had been a man of any occupation. If I would not have taken him at a word, I would have might have gone to hell among the rogues. And so he fell. When he came to himself again, he said, if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, alas, good soul, and forgave him with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after this, he came thus sad away.
Aye.
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye. He spoke Greek.
To what effect?
And I tell you that, I'll never look you in the face again. Ooh. But those that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. Oh, I could tell you more news. Morellus and Flavius, for pulling scarves off Caesar's images, are put to silence. Tell you well, there's more foolery yet if I could remember it.
Will you sup with me tonight, Casca?
Oh, nah, I'm promised forth.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye, if I be alive, and your mind hold, and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell.
Casca exits.
What a blunt fellow is this grown to be. He was quick metal when he went to school.
So is he now in execution of any bold or noble enterprise. However he puts on this tardy form, this rudeness is a source to his good wit, which gives men stomach to digest his words with better appetite.
And so it is. For this time, I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will come home to you. Or, if you will, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think on the world.
And Brutus exits.
Well, Brutus, thou art noble, yet I see thy honourable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. Therefore it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their likes, for who so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar does bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, he should not humour me. I will this night in several hands in at his windows throw, as if they came from several citizens, writings, all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
And he exits. Act 1, Scene 3. Thunder and lightning. Enter Casca and Cicero.
Good even, Casca. Brought you Caesar home? Why are you breathless, and why stare you so?
Are you not moved? When all the sway of earth shakes like a thing unfirmed? Oh, Cicero, I have seen tempests when the scolding winds have rid the knotty oaks. And I have seen the ambitious ocean swell and rage and foam to be exalted with the threatening clouds, but never till tonight, never till now did I go through a tempest dropping fire. Either there is a civil strife in heaven, or else the world too saucy with the gods incenses them to self-destruction.
Why? Saw you anything more wonderful?
A common slave, you know him well by sight, held up his left hand, which did flame and burn like 20 torches joined, and yet his hand, not sensible of fire, remained unscorched. Besides, I had not since put up my sword against the Capitol, I met a lion who glazed upon me and went surely by without annoying me. And there was drawn upon a heap 100 ghastly women transformed with their fear, who swore they saw men all in fire walk up and down the streets. And yesterday the bird of night did sit even at noonday upon the marketplace, howling and shrieking. When all these prodigies do so conjointly meet, let not men say these are their reasons, they are natural. For I believe that they point upon, for I believe they are portentous things unto the climate that they point upon.
Indeed, it is a strange disposed time, but men may construe things after their fashion, clean from the purpose of the things themselves. Well, come Caesar to the Capitol tomorrow?
He doth, for he did bid Antonio send word to you, and he would be there tomorrow.
Oh, good night then, Casca. Ah, this disturbed sky is not to walk in.
Farewell, Cicero.
Cicero exits. Cassia enters.
Who's there?
A Roman.
Casca, by your voice.
Your ear is good. Cassius, what night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens menace so?
Those that have known the earth so full of faults. For my part, I have walked about the streets, submitting me to the perilous night, and thus, unbraced, Casca, as you see, I have bared my bosom to the thunderstone, and when the crossblow lightning seemed to open the breast of heavens, I did present myself, even in the aim, the very flash of it.
Well, wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? It is the part of man to fear and tremble when the most mighty gods by token send such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
Oh, you are dull, Casca, and those sparks of life that should be in a Roman you do want, or else you use not. You look pale, and gaze, and put on fear, and cast yourself in wonder to see the strange impatience of the heavens. But if you would consider the true cause, why all these fires, why all these gliding ghosts, why birds and beasts from quality and kind, why old men, fools, and children calculate, why all these things change from their ordinance, their natures, and their preformed faculties to monstrous quality, why you shall find that heaven hath infused them with these spirits to make them instruments of fear and warning unto some monstrous state. Now could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night that thunders, lightens, opens graves, and roars as doth the lion in the Capitol. A man no mightier than myself, or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
To Caesar that can mean. Is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is. For Romans now have thews and limbs like their ancestors, but woe the while our fathers' minds are dead, and we are governed with our mother's spirits, our yoke and suffering show us womanish.
Indeed, they say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as king. And he shall wear his crown by sea and land in every place, save here in Italy.
I know where I will wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. Therein, ye gods, you make the weak most strong. Therein, ye gods, you tyrants do defeat. Nor stony tower, nor walls of beaten brass, nor airless dungeon, nor strong links of iron can be retentive to the strength of spirit. But life, being weary of these worldly bars, never lacks power to dismiss it itself. If I know this, know all the world besides, that part of tyranny that I do bear can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man, I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. He were no lion, were Romans not hinds, those that with haste will make a mighty fire begin it with weak straws. Oh, what trash is Rome, what rubbish, and what offal when it serves for the best matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar. Oh, ye grow grief. Where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman. Then I know my answer must be made. But I am armed, and dangers are to me indifferent.
You speak to Casca, and to such a man that is no flaring telltale. Hold my hand. Be factious for redress of all these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Now, know you, Casca, I have moved already some certain of the noblest minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence. And I do know by this they stay for me in Pompey's porch. For now, this fearful night, there is no stir of walking in the streets, and the complexion of the element is favoured like the work we have in hand, most bloody, fiery, and most terrible.
Stand close for a while. Here comes one in haste.
Is he sinner? I do know him by his gaits. He is a friend. A sinner? Where haste you so?
To find out you. Who's that? Metallicimber?
No, it is Casca, one incorporate to our attempts. Am I not stayed for, sinner?
I am glad on it. What a fearful night is this? There's 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights.
Am I not stayed for? Tell me.
Yes, you are. Oh, Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our party.
Be you content. Good sinner, take this paper and look you lay it in the praetor's chair, where Brutus may but find it, and throw this in at his window. Set this up with wax upon old Brutus' statue. All this done, repair to Pompey's porch, where you shall find us. Is Decius, Brutus, and Trebonius there?
All but Metallicimber, and he's gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hie, and so bestow these papers as you bade me.
That done, repair to Pompey's theatre.
And Cinna exits.
Come, Casca, you and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is already ours, and the man entire upon the next encounter yields him ours.
He sits high in all the people's hearts, and that which would appear offense in us, his countenance, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and to worthiness.
Him and his worth, and our great need of him, you have right well conceited. Let us go, for it is after midnight, and ere day we will awake him, and be sure of him.
And they exit. Act 2, Scene 1. Brutus enters in his orchard.
What, Lucius? Ho! I cannot by the progress of the stars give guess how near today. Lucius, I say. Would it were my fault to sleep so soundly. When, Lucius, when? Awake, I say. What, Lucius?
And Lucius enters.
Call you, my lord?
Get me a taper in my study, Lucius. When it is lighted, come and call me here.
I will, my lord.
And exits.
It must be by his death. And yet I know no personal cause to spurn at him, but for the general. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. But 'tis the bright day that brings forth the adder, and that craves wary walking. Crown him. That. And then I grant we put a sting in him that at his will he may do danger. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. To speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affection swayed more than his reason. But 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, where to the climber upward turns his face. But once he achieves the topmost round, He then unto the latter turns his back, looks into the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may. Then lest he may, prevent. And since the quarrel will bear no color for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is, augmented, may run to these and these extremes. And therefore, think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched, would as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
Lucius enters.
The taper burneth in your
Oh,
closet,
I'm here.
sir.
I was here before, computer. The taper burneth in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper, thus sealed up. And I am sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
And she gives him the letter.
Get you to bed again. It is not day. Is not tomorrow, boy, the Ides of March?
The 1st of March, I know not, sir.
Look in the calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
Lucius exits.
These exhalations whizzing in the air give so much light that I may read by them.
Opens the letter and reads it.
Brutus, thou sleepst. Awake and see thyself. Shall Rome, etc. Speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepst, awake. Such instigations have been often dropped where I'd have took them up. Shall Rome, etc. Thus must I piece it out. Shall Rome stand under one man's awe? What Rome? My ancestors did from the streets of Rome the Tarquin drive when he was called a king. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise. If the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Lucius enters.
Sir, March has wasted 15 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate. Somebody knocks. Since Cassius first did wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasma or a hideous dream. The genius and the moral instruments are then in council, and the estate of a man, like to a little kingdom, suffers then the nature of an insurrection.
Lucius enters.
Sir, 'tis your brother Cassius at the door, who doth desire to see you.
Is he alone?
No, sir, there are more with him.
Do you know them?
No, sir, their hats are plucked about their ears, and half their faces buried in their cloaks, that by no means I may discover them by any mark of favor.
Let him enter. They are the faction. O conspiracy, shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night when evils are most free? Oh, then by day, where wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage? Seek none, conspiracy. Hide it in smiles and affability. For if thou path thy native semblance on, not Erebus itself were dim enough to hide thee from prevention.
The conspirators enter. Cassius, Casca, Decius, Cinna, Metellus, and Trebonius.
Think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I have been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men who come along with you?
Yes, every man of them. And no man here but honours you, and every one doth wish you had but that opinion of yourself, which every noble Roman bears of you. This is Trebonius.
He is welcome hither.
This Decius Brutus.
He is welcome too.
This Casca, this Cinna, and this Metellissima.
They are all welcome. What watchful cares do interpose themselves betwixt your eyes and night?
Shall I entreat a word?
They whisper together.
Here lies the east. Doth not the day break here?
No.
Oh, pardon, sir, it doth. And yon gray lines that fret the clouds are messengers of day.
You shall confess that you are both deceived. Here, as I point my sword, the sun arises, which is a great way growing on the south, weighing the youthful season of the year. Some 2 months hence, up higher toward the north, his present first presents his fire. And the high east stands as the capital, directly here.
Give me your hands all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse. If these be motives weak, break off betimes, and every man hence to his idle bed. So let high-sighted tyranny range on, till each man drop by lottery. But if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards and to steal with valor the melting spirits of women, then, countrymen, what need had we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? What other bond than secret Romans that have spoke the word and will not palter? And what other oath than honesty to honesty engaged, that this shall be or we will fall for it? Swear, priests and cowards, and men Catullus, old feeble carrions, and such suffering souls that welcome wrongs. Unto bad causes swear, such creatures as men doubt, but do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise, nor the insuppressible metal of our spirits, to think that or our cause or our performance did need an oath, when every drop of blood that every Roman bears, and nobly bears, is guilty of a several bastardy, if he do break the smallest particle of any promise that hath passed from him.
But what of Cicero? Shall we sound him? I think he will stand very strong with us.
Let us not leave him out.
No, by no means.
Oh, let us have him, for his silver hairs will purchase us a good opinion, and by men's voices to commend our deeds. It shall be said, his judgment ruled our hands. Our youth and wildness shall nowhere appear, but all be buried in his gravity.
Oh, name him not. Let us not break with him, for he will never follow anything that other men begin.
Oh, then leave him out.
Then leave him out.
Yeah, indeed, he's not fit.
Shall no man else be touched, but only Caesar?
Decius, well urged. I think it is not meet that Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find of him a shrewd contriver, and you know his means, if he improve them, may well stretch so far as to annoy us all, which to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, to cut the head off and then hack the limbs like wrath in death and envy afterwards. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let's be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. We all stand against the spirit of Caesar, and in the spirit of men there is no blood. Oh, that we then could come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. But alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds. And let our hearts, as subtle masters do, stir up their servants to an act of rage, and after seem to chide them. This shall make our purpose necessary and not envious, which so appearing to the common eyes, we shall be called purgers, not murderers. And for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I fear him, for in the engrafted love he bears to Caesar,
Alas, good Cassius, do not think of him. If he loves Caesar, all that he can do is to himself. Take thought and die for Caesar. That were much he should, for he is given to sports, to wildness, and to much company.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter.
Peace. Count the clock.
The clock hath stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no. For he is superstitious grown of late, quite from the main opinion he once held of fantasy, of dreams and ceremonies. It may be these apparent prodigies, the unaccustomed terror of this night, and the persuasion of his augurs may hold him from the Capitol today.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can oversway him. For he loves to hear that unicorns may be betrayed with trees, and bears with glasses, elephants with holes, lions with toils, and men with flatterers. But when I tell him he hates flatterers, he says he does, being then most flattered. Let me work, for I can give his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the Capitol.
Nay, we will all of us be there to fetch him.
By the 8th hour, is that not the uttermost?
Be that the uttermost, and fail not then.
Caius Ligarius doth bear Caesar hard, who rated him for speaking well of Pompey. I wonder none of you have thought of him.
Now, good Metellus, go along by him. He loves me well, and I've given him reasons. Send him but hither, and I'll fashion him.
The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus. And friends, disperse yourselves, but all remember what you have said, and show yourselves true Romans.
Good gentlemen, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do, with untired spirits and formal constancy. And so, good morrow to you, everyone.
And they exit, leaving Brutus.
Boy? Lucius? Fast asleep. It is no matter. Enjoy the honey-heavy dew of slumber. Thou hast no figures, nor no fantasies, which busy care draws in the brains of men. Therefore thou sleepst so sound.
Portia enters.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to the raw cold morning.
Nor for yours neither. Yet ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further. Then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of humor, which sometime hath his hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep. And could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What? Is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night, and tempt the roomy and unperjured air to add unto his sickness? No, My Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees I charm you by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me yourself, your hath, why you are heavy. And what men tonight have had resort to you? For here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were in sort or limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus' harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know this secret. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels, I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
Oh, ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Hark, hark, one knocks. Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee, all the character of my sad brows. Leave me with haste.
And Portia exits. Lucius and Ligarius enter.
Here is a sick man that would speak with you.
Caius Ligarius, that Metellus spoke of. Boy, stand aside. Caius Ligarius, how?
Vouchsafe good morning from a feeble tongue.
Oh, what a time have you chose out, brave Caius, to wear a kerchief. Would you were not sick?
I am not sick, if Brutus have in hand any exploit worthy the name of honor.
Such an exploit have I in hand, Ligarius. Had you a healthful ear to hear of it?
By all the gods that Romans bow before, I here discard my sickness. Soul of Rome, brave son, derived from honorable loins, thou, like an exorcist, hast conjured up my mortified spirit. Now bid me run, and I will strive with things impossible, yea, get the better of them. What's to do?
A piece of work that will make sick men whole.
Oh, but not some hole that we must make sick.
That must we also. What it is, my Caius, I shall unfold to thee as we are going, to whom it must be done.
Oh, set on your foot, and with a heart new fired I follow you, to do I know not what, but it suffice that Brutus leads me on.
Thunder.
Follow me then.
And they exit. Act 2, Scene 2. Thunder and lightning. Julius Caesar enters in his nightgown. And nor heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, help, ho, they murder Caesar. Who's within?
My lord.
Go bid the priests do present sacrifice and bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lord.
The servant exits. Calpurnia enters.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me ne'er looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanquished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within besides the things that we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors fell upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons and right form of war, which drizzled blood upon the Capitol. The noise of battle hurtled in the air. Horses did neigh, and dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth, for these predictions are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. Servant enters. What say the augurers?
They would not have you to stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he. We hear 2 lions littered in one day, and I the elder and more terrible, and Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house, and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate House, and he shall say you are not well today. Let me upon my knee prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humour I will stay at home. Decius Brutus enters. Here's Decius Brutus, he shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate House.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greeting to the senators, and tell them that I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not falser. I will not come today. Tell them so, Decius.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arm so far to be afeard to tell greybeards the truth? Decius, go tell them. Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight. She saw my statue, which like a fountain with 100 spouts did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent. And on her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
Dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision, fair and fortunate. Your statue, spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathed, signifies that from you, great Rome, shall suck reviving blood, and that great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This by Calpurnia's dream is signified.
And this way have you well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say, and know it now, the Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time, when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hid himself, shall he not whisper low, Caesar is afraid? Pardon me, Caesar. For my dear, dear love to your perceiving bids me tell you this, and reason to my love is liable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia? I am ashamed I did yield to them. Give me my robe, for I will go. Enter Brutus, Ligarius, Metellus, Casca, Trebonius, Cinna, and Publius. And look, where Publius comes to fetch me.
Hello, Caesar.
Welcome, Publius. What, Brutus? Are you stirred so early too? Good morning, Casca. Caius Ligarius. Caesar was ne'er so much your enemy as that same ague which hath made you lean. What is the clock?
Caesar, 'tis struck an 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy. Antony enters. Oh, see, Antony that revels long o' nights is notwithstanding up. Good morrow, Antony.
So to most noble Caesar.
Bid them prepare within. I am too blamed to be thus waited for. Now, Cinna, now, Metellus, what, Trebonius, I have an hour's talk in store for you. Remember that you call on me today. Be near me that I may remember you.
Caesar, I will. And so near will I be that your best friend shall wish I had been further.
Good friends, go in and taste some wine with me, and we, like friends, will straightway go together.
That every like is not the same, O Caesar. The heart of Brutus earns to think upon.
And they exit. Act 2, Scene 3. Enter Artemidorus.
Caesar, beware of Brutus. Take heed of Cassius. Come not near Casca. Have an eye to Cinna. Trust not Trebonius. Mark well Metellus Simper. Decius, Brutus loves thee not. Thou hast wronged Caius Ligarius. There is but one mind in all these men, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou best not immortal, look about you. Security gives way to conspiracy. The mighty gods defend thee. Thy love, Artemidorus. Here will I stand till Caesar pass along, and as a suitor will I give him this. My heart laments that virtue cannot live out of the teeth of emulation. If thou read this, O Caesar, thou mayest live, if not the fates with traitors do contrive.
Artemidorus exits. Act 2, Scene 4. Enter Portia and Lucius.
A prithee, boy, run to the Senate house. Stay not to answer me, but get thee gone. Why dost thou stay?
To know my errand, madam.
I would have had thee there and here again, ere I can tell thee what thou shouldst do there. Oh, constancy be strong upon my side. Set a huge mountain between my heart and tongue. I have a man's mind, but a woman's might. How hard it is for women to keep counsel. Art thou here yet?
Madam, what should I do? Run to the capital and nothing else? And so return to you and nothing else?
Yes, bring me word, boy, if thy lord look well. For he went forth sickly, and take good note what Caesar doth, what suitors press to him. Hark, boy, what noise is that?
I hear none, madam.
Prithee, listen well. I hear a bustling rumor, like a fray, and the wind brings it from the capital.
Sooth, madam, I hear nothing.
The soothsayer enters.
Come hither, fellow. Which way hast thou been?
At mine own house, good lady.
What is t'clock?
About the 9th hour, lady.
Is Caesar yet gone to the capital?
Madame, not yet. I go to take my stand to see him pass on to the capital.
Thou hast some suit to Caesar, hast thou not?
Oh, that I have, lady, if it will please Caesar to be so good to Caesar as to hear me, I shall beseech him to befriend himself.
Why, knowest thou any harms intended towards him?
None that I know will be, much that I fear may chance. Good morrow to you. Here's the street is narrow. The throng that follows Caesar at the heels of senators, of praetors, common suitors will crowd a feeble man almost to death. I'll get me a place more void and there speak to great Caesar as he comes along.
Oh, I must go in. Ay me, how weak a thing the heart of woman is. Oh, Brutus, the heavens speed thee in thine enterprise. I'm sure the boy heard me. Brutus hath a suit that Caesar will not grant. Oh, I grow faint. Oh, run, Lucius, and commend me to my lord. Say I am merry. Come to me again and bring me word what he doth say to thee.
And she exits. Act 3. Flourish. Enter Caesar, Brutus, Cassius, Casca, Decius, Metellus, Trebonius, Cinna, Antony, Lepidus, Artemidorus, Publius, and the soothsayer. The Ides of March are come.
Aye, Caesar, but not gone. Hail, Caesar! Read this schedule. Oh, Caesar, read this. For mine's a suit that touches Caesar nearer. Read it, great Caesar.
What touches us ourselves shall be last served.
Delay not, Caesar. Read it instantly.
What? Is this fellow mad?
Sir, I give place.
Oh, urge you your petitions in the street? Come to the capital.
I wish your enterprise today may thrive.
What enterprise? Papilius!
Fare you well.
What said Papilius, Lena?
He wished today our enterprise might thrive. I fear our purpose is discovered.
Look how he makes to Caesar. Mark him.
Casca, be sudden, for we fear prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius or Caesar never shall turn back, for I will slay myself.
Cassius, be constant. Papilius, Lena, speaks not of our purposes. For look how he smiles, and Caesar doth not change.
Trebonius knows his time, for look you, Brutus, he draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Where is Metellus Cimber? Let him go and presently prefer his suit to Caesar.
He is addressed. Press near and second him.
Casca, you are the first that rears your hand.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Metellus Cimber throws before thy seat a humble heart.
I must prevent thee, Cimber. These couchings and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men and turn pre-ordinance, the first degree, into the lane of children. Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood that will be thawed from the true quality with that which melteth fools. I mean sweet words, low crooked courtesies, and base spaniel fawning. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own, to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring that Publius Cimber may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar, Caesar, pardon. As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall to beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as a northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. They're all fire, and every one doth shine. But there's but one in his place. So in the world is furnished well with men, and men are flesh and blood and apprehensive. Yet in number I do know but one that unassailable holds on his rank, unshaked of motion, and that I am he. Let me a little show it, even in this, that I was constant, Simba should be banished, and constant do remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
Hence! Wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar!
Oh, doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak hands for me!
Et tu, Brute, then fall, Caesar. He dies.
Liberty! Freedom! Tyranny is dead! Hence, proclaim! Cry it out in the streets!
Come to the common pulpit and cry out liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement.
People and senators, be not affrighted. Fly not. Stand still. Ambition's debt is paid.
Go to the pulpit, Brutus.
And Cassius, too.
Where's Publius?
He's quite befuddled with the mutiny.
Stand fast together, lest some friend of Caesar should chant.
Talk not of standing. Publius, good cheer. There is no harm intended to your person, nor to no Roman else. So tell them, Publius.
And leave us, Publius, lest that the people rushing on us should do your age some mischief.
Do so, and let no man abide this deed, but we the doers.
Trebonius enters.
Where is Antony?
Fled to his house amazed. Men, wives, and children stare, cry out, and run as it were doomsday.
Fates, we will know your pleasures. That we shall die, we know. 'Tis but the time and drawing days out that men stand upon.
He that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death.
Grant that. And then is death a benefit. So are we Caesar's friends that have abridged his time of fearing death. Stoop, Romans, stoop. And let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood up to the elbows, and besmear our swords. Then walk we forth, even to the marketplace, and waving our red weapons o'er our heads, let's all cry, peace, freedom, and liberty.
Stoop then and wash. How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over in states unborn and accents yet unknown?
How many times shall Caesar bleed in sport, that now on Pompey's basis lie along no worthier than the dust?
So oft as that shall be, so often shall the not of us be called the men that gave their country liberty.
What? Shall we forth?
Aye, every man away. Brutus shall lead, and we will grace his heels with the most boldest and best hearts in Rome.
A servant enters.
Soft. Who comes here? A friend of Antony's.
Thus, Brutus, did my master bid me kneel. Thus did Mark Antony bid me fall down, and being prostrate, thus he bade me say, Brutus is noble, wise, valiant, and honest. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say, I love Brutus, and I honor him. Say, I feared Caesar, honored him, and loved him. If Brutus will vouchsafe that Antony may safely come to him and be resolved, how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death, Mark Antony shall not love Caesar dead as well as Brutus living, but will follow the fortunes and affairs of noble Brutus through the hazards of this untrod state with all true faith. So says my master Antony.
Thy master is a wise and valiant Roman. I never thought him worse. Tell him, so please him come unto this place, he shall be satisfied, and by my honor, depart untouched.
I'll fetch him presently.
Servant exits.
I know that we shall have him well to friend.
I wish we may, but yet I have a mind that fears him much, and my misgiving still falls shrewdly to the purpose.
Mark Antony enters.
But here comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
Oh, mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, no instrument of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, now, whilst the purpled hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so, no mean of death as here, by Caesar and by you, cut off, the choice and master spirits of this age.
Oh, Antony, beg not your death of us. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel, as by our hands and this our present act you see we do, yet see you but our hands, and this the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you see not. They are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome. As fire drives out fire, so pity hath done this deed on Caesar. For your part, to you, our swords have leaden points, Mark Antony. Our arms in strength of malice, and our hearts of brother's temper, do receive you in with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitude beside themselves with fear. And then we will deliver to you the cause why I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus, will I shake with you. Next, Caius Cassius, do I take your hand. Now Decius Brutus, yours. Now yours, Metellus. Yours, Cinna. And my valiant Casca, yours. Though last, not least in love, yours, good Trebonius. Gentlemen all. Alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me, either a coward or a flatterer. But I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death to see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes? Most noble, in the presence of thy corse, had I as many eyes as thou hast wounds, weeping as fast as they stream forth thy blood, it would become me better than to close in terms of friendship with thine enemies. Pardon me, Julius. Here wast thou bade, brave heart. Here didst thou fall, and here thy hunters stand, signed in thy spoil and crimsoned in thy lethe. O world, thou wast the forest to this heart, and this indeed, O world, the heart of thee. How like a deer, stroken by many princes, dost thou here lie?
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this. Then in a friend it is called modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked to the number of our friends, or shall we on and not depend on you?
Therefore I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends, am I with you all, and love you all, upon this hope, that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a savage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek. And am moreover, suitor, that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. Do not consent that Antony speak in his funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved by that which he will utter?
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first and show the reason for our Caesar's death. What Antony shall speak, I will protest he speaks by leave and by permission, and that we are contented Caesar shall have all true rights and lawful ceremonies. It shall advantage more than do us wrong.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, here, take you Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar. And say you do it by our permission, else shall you not have any hand at all about his funeral. And you shall speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going, after my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
They exit, leaving Mark Antony alone with Caesar's body.
Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Dumbstick fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war, all pity choked with custom of fell deeds. And Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, with Ate by his side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines, with a monarch's voice, cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell above the earth with carrion men, groaning for burial.
Octavia's sent servant enters.
You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?
I do, Mark Antony.
Caesar did right for him to come to Rome.
He did receive his letters and is coming, and bid me say to you by word of mouth, oh, Caesar.
Thy heart is big. Get thee apart and weep. Passion I see is catching from mine eyes, seeing those beads of sorrow stand in thine, began to water. Is thy master coming?
He lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back with speed, and tell him what hath chanced. Here is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome, no Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Hie hence and tell him so. Yet stay a while. Thou shalt not back till I have borne this corse into the marketplace. There shall I try in my oration how the people take the cruel issue of these bloody men, according to the which thou shalt discourse to young Octavius of the state of things. Lend me your hand.
They exit. Are we taking a break there? No?
No, we're going to take a break at the ending of Act 3 after the
Okay. Apologies. Act 3, Scene 2. Enter Brutus. He goes into the pulpit, and Cassius with the plebeians.
We will be satisfied.
Let us be satisfied. We will be satisfied.
Then follow me and give me audience, friends. Cassius, go you into the other street and part the numbers. Those that will hear me speak, let them stay here. Those that will follow Cassius, go with him. And public reasons shall be rendered of Caesar's death.
I will hear Brutus speak.
I will hear Cassius and compare their reasons when severally we hear them endeared.
The noble Brutus is ascendant. Silence.
Be patient to the last. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus' love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any, speak, for him have I offended. I pause for a reply.
None, Brutus, none.
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol. His glory not extenuated, wherein he was worthy, nor his offenses enforced, for which he suffered death.
Mark Antony enters with Caesar's body.
Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the Commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this, I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live, Brutus, live!
Brutus, live!
Live!
Give him a statue with his ancestors.
Let him be Caesar.
Caesar's better part shall be crowned in Brutus.
We'll bring him to his house with shouts and clamors.
My countrymen!
Peace, silence, Brutus speaks.
Peace, ho!
Good countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech, tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. I entreat you, not a man depart, save I alone, till Antony have spoke.
Stay, ho, and let us hear Mark Antony.
Let him go up into the public chair. We'll hear him. Noble Antony, go up.
For Brutus' sake, I am beholding to you.
What does he say of Brutus?
He says, for Brutus' sake, he finds himself beholding to us all.
Were best he speak no harm of Brutus here.
The Caesar was a tyrant.
Nay, that's certain. We are blessed that Rome is rid of him.
Peace, let us hear what Antony can say.
You gentle Romans.
Peace, ho, let us hear him.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Oh, judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his sayings.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong.
Has he, masters? I fear there will be worse come in his place.
Mark ye his words? He would not take the crown, therefore 'tis certain he was not ambitious.
Oh, if it be found so, some will dear abide it.
Poor soul, his eyes are red as fire with weeping.
There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony.
Now mark him, he begins again to speak.
But yesterday, the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read, and they would go and kiss dear Caesar's wounds and dip their napkins in his sacred blood, yea, beg a hair of him for memory, and dying mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
Will, hear the will. Read it, Mark Antony.
The will.
The
will. We will hear Caesar's will.
Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. It is not meet you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood. You are not stones, but men. And being men, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. 'Tis good you know not that you are his heirs. For if you should, oh, what would come of it?
Read the will. We'll hear it, Antony. You shall read us the will. Caesar's will.
Will you be patient? Will you stay a while? Oh, I have o'ershot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors, honorable men.
The will,
the
testament.
testament.
They were villains, murderers. The will, read the will.
You will compel me then to read the will. Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar and let me show you him that made the will. Shall I descend and will you give me leave?
Descend.
You shall have leave.
A ring, stand round.
Stand from the hearse, stand from the body.
Room for Antony, most noble Antony.
Nay, press not so upon me. Stand far off.
Stand back, room. They're back.
They're back.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. 'Twas on a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the Navi. Look, in this place ran Cassius' dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made? Through this the well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as rushing out of doors to be resolved if Brutus so unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him. Then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle, muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen. Then I and you and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops. Kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here. Here is himself, marred, as you see, with traitors.
Oh, piteous spectacle!
Noble Caesar.
Oh, woeful day.
Oh, traitors, villains.
Oh, most bloody sight!
We will be revenged. Revenge about, seek, burn, fire, kill, slay, let not a traitor live.
Stay, countrymen.
Peace there, hear the noble Antony.
We'll hear him, we'll follow him, we'll die with him.
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not, that made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. No, I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man that love my friend, and that they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither writ, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that, which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny.
We'll burn the house of Brutus.
Away then, come seek the conspirators.
Yet hear me, countrymen, yet hear me speak.
Peace,
oh, hear Antony, most noble Antony.
My friends, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then, you have forgot the will I told you of.
Most true.
The will. Let's stay in
the will.
Here is the will. And under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas.
Oh, royal Caesar.
We'll
Give me the
revenge
patience.
it.
Peace, ho.
Peace, ho.
Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors, and new planted orchards on this side Tiber. He hath left them you and to your heirs forever. Common pleasures to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Never. Come, away. We'll burn his body in the holy place, and with the brands fire the traitors' houses. Take up the body.
Go fetch fire.
Pluck down benches.
Pluck down forms, windows, anything.
The plebeians exit.
Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt.
The servant enters.
Sorry. How now, fellow?
Sir Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He and Lepidus are at Caesar's house.
And thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will give us anything.
I heard him say Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen through the gates of Rome.
Belike they had some notice of the people, how I had moved them. Bring me to Octavius.
And they exit. Act 3, Scene 3. Enter Cinna the poet, and after him the plebeians.
I dreamt tonight that I did feast with Caesar, and things unluckily charge my fantasy. I have no will to wander forward out of doors, yet something leads me forth.
What is your name?
Whither are you going?
Where do you dwell?
Are you a married man or a bachelor?
Answer every man directly.
Aye, and briefly.
Aye, and wisely.
Aye, and truly, you were best.
What is my name? Whither am I going? Where do I dwell? Am I a married man or a bachelor? Then to answer every man directly and briefly, wisely and truly. Wisely I say, I am a bachelor.
That's as much to say they are fools that marry. You'll bear me a bang for that, I fear. Proceed directly.
Directly, I'm going to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend or an enemy?
Oh, it's a friend.
That matter is answered directly.
For your dwelling, briefly.
Briefly, I dwell by the Capitol.
Your name, sir, truly.
Truly, my name is Cinna.
Tear him to pieces! He's a conspirator!
I am Cinna the poet. I am Cinna the poet.
Tear him for his bad verses. Tear him for his bad verses.
I am not Cinna the conspirator.
It is no matter. His name's Cinna. Pluck but his name out of his heart and turn him going.
Tear him, from Brand's hole, firebrand, Julius to Cassius, burn all, some to Decius's house, and some to Cascus, some to Ligarius, away go.
And they all exit. And we'll take a break there.
Okay. All right.
What are we taking, a 5 or a 10, Michael?
How about 7.5?
7.5. So
That's not, I don't want to keep you up all night, brother. You know, you don't have to put your clock in. All right.
No.
I, for one, want to keep daylight savings time, but they say it's better to not.
I don't see why we keep it. I mean, why do we change? I mean, the time is the time. We adjust because it's different times of the year. I think.
Well, during wartime, it's to save electricity. It was supposed to save lighting during wartime.
Yeah.
At one point in Britain, Britain, they cancelled it. And what it turned out was that the kids ended up going to school in the dark. And there were so many accidents and kids getting knocked down by cars trying to cross roads. And
start school later. They start school too early anyways. Start school later. Start school.
No.
I went to school in England. I went to first grade. I remember going to school in the dark in 1960.
Well, before electricity, people used to go to sleep at 7 p.m. or whenever the sun went down, and then sleep into the midnight, wee hours of the morning, and then get up for 4 hours and visit friends, have dinner, meditate, prayer, do all kinds of stuff for about 4 hours, and then go back to sleep. So they must have gotten up about 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Even though the farmers supposedly get up, they have to get up very early. That was the purpose of it.
Well, I don't know. It just annoys me. And especially in the spring when it's like, okay, and I've got to get up early for work tomorrow, and it's an hour earlier now too.
So you want to keep on standard time, just like they want to go back to just straight standard time.
I mean, time is time. The days are shorter and the days are longer because of the seasons. I don't.
And every few years we have to make up with a leap year because we lose a whole day because the way the movements of the sun are not always the same.
Yeah, well, and also the thing is, and that was one of the great innovations. The Julian calendar was having the leap year, but it wasn't like, I mean, the leap day, it wasn't enough, and that's why you had to have like the Gregorian calendar. So it's actually under the Julian calendar, the Ides of March won't be for another 10 days.
Everything used to be much more according to the moon, right? The way the Muslim calendar is.
Mm-hmm.
And like Easter falls according to the moon. And then there would be 13 months a year, 8-day cycles.
Yeah, well, and there's also and it's also very appropriate to have it on doing a reading of Julius Caesar on daylight savings time, where it's like, no, the sun's going to rise over here. No, it's going to rise over here. This is exactly the same sort of argument that Caesar was writing about, that they were probably having back in ancient Rome, which he probably had learned about and studied Latin. So.
One would think he didn't care much about the days of the month because he was about 2 weeks off on the day, right? It goes from the 1st to the 15th.
By the way, I just want to say, Paula.
Yes.
I watched Importance of Being Earnest last night. You guys got to check this out. You hands down better than, what's her name? Dame Edith Evans.
Oh, thank you.
You were, everybody is excellent, but you've got to watch this, guys.
Watch it on YouTube, that's good.
Yes, and you really do great work there. It's hilarious. I was in hysterics. I loved it.
Paula,
everybody's great. Miguel is Algernon. Alex is Jack. Miss Prism is Vicky.
Okay.
It's really wonderful. Ben is the servant. It's terrific. Huh?
Who's Gwendolyn and Cecily? Who are?
Who was that again? I don't.
And
Anna Cody was Gwendolyn,
Right, Anna.
and Taylor Lynn Phillips was Cecily.
Anyway, it almost looks like it was rehearsed and directed ahead of time a little bit, and not in a good way. In that you were so spontaneous, everybody was flowing. It was just incredible.
Oh, well, it's such a wonderful play.
It is a great play, but you guys did it justice. I mean, that's what I saw a production not too long ago outside in the park. Remember those days up in the park? And it was okay. They had a guy playing Lady Bracknell.
Yeah,
He
they
was
all
fine.
do.
Yeah, they often do.
Brian Bedford. did
But
it.
you just did it, you know?
Brilliant.
Brian Bedford did it, yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
That's not the one I saw, but it's good.
Was Stephen Brown the minister guy? I forget his name.
No, David Cedar, Chasuble,
Oh,
was,
yeah,
was Chasuble.
Well, who was
Stephen didn't do anything in it, did he? He just playmastered.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Paul, you too. You were on too. You were just watching, right?
Yeah, I was just watching. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a really great reading. They'd wanted to put together. They'd been talking about it, and yeah, it was great.
Well, I'm going to go back and watch it again because there were some times I was doing other stuff and I wanted to
If
check out
anybody
some things
wants
that I
the David
missed.
Suchet version, I've got it and can provide it to anybody.
Which David Suchet's version?
The David Suchet in which he played Lady Bracknell.
Oh, I'd love
What
to.
I actually loved is that she took the line, the handbag line that everybody plays the same, and she played it differently. And I loved it because everybody, oh, handbag.
You know what makes it difficult? Maggie Smith had a conversation about that with somebody, talked about how, Edith Evans is the standard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how
Right, everybody does it.
people did it. And she finally got to was it Edith? No, was it, it was either Maggie Smith or Judi Dench. I forget which one of them. I think it was Maggie.
It was Maggie Smith talking to Judi Dench in the Dames at Tea.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
thank you.
That's a
And,
great.
and she finally decided she couldn't say the word at all. Which is very funny.
Well, in the
watch that
anniversary
again.
radio
Oh,
production, Judi Dench said it in just a whisper. Handbag. I have that one too.
But it's really impossible to do that line without thinking of Edith Evans. It's
Of course
so in
not.
your head.
Right, and that's why everybody's got to get away from it. So I've got to see the Judi Dench one. Now, did Maggie Smith play it also, you said?
She played it on BBC TV, I believe, opposite Paul McMahon, I think, as Jack.
Do you have a recording of that?
Yeah, I believe I do.
Maybe it is YouTube. I'd love to see that.
I mean,
Tony, you really.
I always thought that must have been really smelly.
What was that, Paul? I couldn't hear you.
And for any length of time, whoever found it must have had quite an amazement.
But I missed that. I missed that check.
Finding the handbag. Yeah, no, Tony, I was just commending you on your generosity and your all of these recordings that you've gotten, which is
It's a pleasure.
Tony has got insight.
Tony's incredible. You're like a walking library.
Wow.
You're-
Tony
Ooh.
and Wayne together, and
Look at
there's
that background.
no other theater to be known in the Western world.
Yeah.
That's probably the only good thing about this stupid pandemic is that there's so much more available online now to see.
Yeah, and to figure out how to get back into in person again when we can do it, which is the weather's getting warmer quickly. I mean, doing it as people are, well, I mean, yeah, we still need to get.
Well, the place that I was going to suggest is outdoors, is outside the Delacorte, you know, the giant hill up there, the largest elevation. What's it called? Where Seneca Village was. 81st Street and Central Park West.
The Delacorte, you mean where the castle is?
No, right off Central Park West. It's the highest elevation. It's famous. And it's
Yeah, I don't know what it's called though.
in a circle. I'll try to remember the name. But I think you have to pay for space because you have to reserve it. But you know, that's during normal times, except there may be a lot of people who have the same idea as us right I think that would be a good spot though, because that's where we did As You Like It, and it's open enough. And
I've seen other people do performances there. I didn't know
we
you have
did.
to
We did
pay
As
for
You
it.
Like It there. We did As You Like It there with the Merrily Players. Remember them, Paul? That Merrily Players you turned me on to. They did As You Like It in Romeo and Juliet there.
Oh. The ones in the
It was
garden,
great.
you mean, or
It's not the
page are you
garden.
on now?
It's atop a circle. It's
what
the
page?
highest elevation, 81st and Central Park West.
I wonder how much the city would charge, you know?
Was it 84th Street? 84th Street. Sorry, 84th and Central Park West.
anyways, we've probably been about
Okay.
getting close to 10 minutes now. So
What
Let's
page
do
are
it.
you on? Page.
we will when everybody we do need to move. So yeah.
Page? What page are we on? Page?
Act 4, Scene 1. Hold on.
83.
Three, midway
Page
through.
83.
Okay.
I got to get off too. Okay, so I'm going to split and everybody else who's not on.
Are we still reading stage directions or should I just start?
Act is cool.
Hello?
I think we're not all here yet.
Aha.
It's Octavius and Lepidus. Are you here?
Right.
I'll do the stage directions for this one then. Okay. Actus quartus. Scene prima. Enter Antony, Octavius, and Lepidus.
These many then shall die. Their names are pricked.
Your brother too must die. Consent you, Lepidus?
I do consent.
Prick him down, Anthony.
Upon condition Publius shall not live, who is your sister's son, Mark Antony.
He shall not live. Look, with a spot I damn him. But, Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house. Fetch the will hither, and we shall determine how to cut off some charge and legacies.
What, shall I find you here?
Or here, or at the Capitol.
Lepidus exits.
This is a slight, unmeritable man, meet to be sent on errands. Is it fit the threefold world divided, he should stand one of the three to share it?
So you thought him and took his voice, who should be pricked to die in our black sentence and prescription.
Octavius, I have seen more days than you, and though we lay these honors on this man to ease ourselves of divers slanderous loads, he shall but bear them as the ass bears gold, to groan and sweat under the business, either led or driven as we point the way. And having brought our treasure where we will, then take we down his load and turn him off like to the empty ass to shake his ears and graze in commons.
You may do your will, but he's a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius, and for that I do appoint him store of provender. It is a creature that I teach to fight, to whine, to stop, to run directly on, his corporal motion governed by my spirit. And in some taste is Lepidus but so. He must be taught and trained and bid go forth, a barren-spirited fellow, one that feeds on objects, arts, and imitations, which out of use and staled by other men begin his fashion. Do not talk of him but as a property. And now, Octavius, listen great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straight make head. Therefore, let our alliance be combined and our best friends made, our means stretched, and let us presently go sit in council, how covert matters may be best disclosed and open perils surest answered.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake, and bayed about by our enemies. And some that smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs.
Octavius and Mark Antony exit. Scene 2. Drum. Enter Brutus, Lucilius, and the army. Titinius and Pindarus from Cassius's army meeting them. Stand ho!
Give the word, ho, and stand.
What now, Lucilius? Is Cassius near?
He is at hand, and Pindarus has come to do you salutation from his master.
He greets me well. Your master, Pindarus, in his own change or by ill officers, hath given me some worthy cause to wish things done undone. But if he be at hand, I shall be satisfied.
I do not doubt, but that my noble master will appear such as he is, full of regard and honor.
He is not doubted. A word, Lucilius. How he received you, let me be resolved.
With courtesy and with respect enough, but not with such familiar instances, nor with such free and friendly conference as he hath used of old.
Thou hast described a hot friend cooling. Ever note, Lucilius, when love begins to sicken and decay, it useth an enforced ceremony. There are no tricks in plain and simple faith, but hollow men, like horses hot at hand, make gallant show and promise of their mettle. A low march is heard within, but when they should endure the bloody spur, they fall their crests, and like deceitful jades sink in the trial. Comes his army on?
They mean this night in Sardis to be quartered. The greater part, the horse in general, are come with Cassius.
Enter Cassius and his powers. Hark, he has arrived. March gently on to meet him.
Stand ho!
Stand ho! Speak the word along.
Stand!
Stand.
Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Judge me, you gods. Wrong I mine enemies? And if not so, how should I wrong a brother?
Brutus, this sober form of yours hides wrongs, and when you do them, you can...
Be content. Speak your grief softly. I do know you well. Before the eyes of both our armies here, which should receive nothing but love from us, let us not wrangle. Bid them move away. Then in my tent, Cassius, enlarge your griefs, and I will give you audience.
Pindarus, bid our commanders lead their charges off a little from this ground.
Lucilius, do you the like, and let no man come to our tent till we have done our conference. Let Lucius and Titinius guard our door.
The rest exit, leaving Brutus and Cassius.
That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians, wherein my letters preying upon his side, because I knew the man was sliding off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
In such a time as this, it is not meet that every nice offence should bear his comment.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and march your offices for gold to undeservers.
I? An itching palm? You know that you are Brutus that speaks this, or by the gods, this speech were else your last.
The name of Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement?
Remember March, the eyes of March, remember? Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain touched his body that did stab and not for justice? What? Shall one of us that struck the foremost man of all this world, but for supporting robbers, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes and sell the mighty spaces of our large honors for so much trash as may be grasped thus? I had rather be a dog and bay the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus, bait not me. I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I am a soldier, I. Older in practice, abler than yourself to make conditions.
Go to, you are not, Cassius.
I am.
I say that you are not.
Urge me no more, I shall forget myself. Have mind upon your health. Tempt me no further.
Away, slight man.
Is possible?
Hear me! for I will speak. Must I give way and room to your rash choler? Shall I be frighted when a madman stares?
Oh, ye gods, must I endure all this?
All this? Aye, more. Fret till your proud heart break. Go show your slaves how choleric you are, and make your bondmen tremble. Must I budge? Must I observe you? Must I stand and crouch under your testy humor? By the gods, you shall digest the venom of your spleen, though it do split you. For from this day forth, I'll use you for my mirth, yea, for my laughter when you are waspish.
Is it come to this?
You say you are a better soldier. Let it appear so. Make your vaunting true, and it shall please me well. For mine own part, I shall be glad to learn of noble men.
You wrong me every way. You wrong me, Brutus. I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I care not.
When Caesar lived, he durst not thus have moved me.
Peace, peace. You durst not have tempted him so.
I durst not.
No.
What? Durst not tempt him?
For your life, you durst not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that, for that I shall be sorry for.
You have done that you should be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats, for I am armed so strong in honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind, which I respect not. I did send to you for certain sums of gold, which you denied me, for I can raise no money by vile means. By heaven, I would rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmas than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their vile trash by any indirection. I did send to you for gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so? When Marcus Brutus grows so covetous to cloak such rascal counters from his friends, be ready, gods, with all your thunderbolts, dash him to pieces!
I denied you not.
You did!
I did not! He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus has rived my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not, till you practice them on me.
You love me not!
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye could never see such faults.
Flatterers would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony and young Octavius, come. Revenge yourself alone on Cassius, for Cassius is a weary of the world. Hated by one he loves, braved by his brother, checked like a bondman, all his faults observed, set in a notebook, learned and conned by a rote to cast into my teeth. Oh, I could weep my spirit from mine eyes. There is a dagger, and here my naked breast, within a heart dearer than Pluto's mine, richer than gold. If that thou beest a Roman, take it forth! That I that denied thee gold will give my heart. Strike! As thou didst at Caesar, for I know when thou didst hate him worse, then thou lovest him better than ever thou didst love Cassius.
Sheath your dagger. Be angry when you will. It shall have scope. Do what you will. Dishonor shall be humor. Oh, Cassius, you are yoked with a lamb that carries anger as the flint bears fire, who, much enforced, shows a hasty spark, and straight is cold again.
If Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus, when grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth him?
When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too.
Do you confess so much? Give me your hand.
And my heart too.
Oh, Brutus.
What's the matter?
Have not you love enough to bear with me when that rash humour which my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius. And from henceforth, when you are over earnest with your Brutus, He'll think your mother chides. So. Enter a poet.
Let me go in and see the generals. There is some grudge between them. 'Tis not meet they be alone.
I'm here.
Shall not
I'm here.
come to them.
Nothing but death shall stay me.
Oh no. What's the matter?
For shame, you generals, what do you mean? Love and be friends as two such men should be. For I have seen more years, I'm sure, than ye.
How why vilely does this cynic rhyme?
Get you hence, Sarah. Saucy fellow hence.
Oh, bear with him, Brutus. 'Tis his fashion.
I'll know his humor when he knows his time. What should the wars do with these jigging fools? Companion hence.
Away, away, be gone.
The poet exits.
Lucilius and Titinius, bid the commanders prepare to lodge their companies tonight.
And come yourselves, and bring Messala with you immediately to us.
Lucius, a bowl of wine.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
Oh, Cassius, I am sick of many griefs.
With your philosophy, you make no use if you give place to accidental evils.
No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Huh? Portia?
She is dead.
Oh, how escaped I killing when I crossed you so? Oh, insupportable and touching loss. Upon what sickness?
Impatient of my absence, and grief that young Octavius with Mark Antony have made themselves so strong. For with her death those tidings came. With this she fell distract, and her attendants absent, swallowed fire.
And died so.
Even so.
Oh, immortal gods.
A boy enters with wine and tapers.
Speak no more of her. Give me a bowl of wine. In this, I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. Fill, Lucius, till the wine or swell the cup. I cannot drink too much of Brutus' love.
Titinius and Messala enter.
Come in, Titinius. Welcome, good Messala. Now sit we close about this taper here and call in question our necessities.
Portia, art thou gone?
No more, I pray you. Messala, I have here received letters that young Octavius and Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition toward Philippi.
Myself have letters of the selfsame tenor.
With what addition?
That by proscription and bills of outlawry, Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators.
Therein our letters do not well agree. Mine speak of 70 centaurs that died by their prescriptions, Cicero being one.
Cicero, one?
Cicero is dead, and by that order of proscription. Had you your letters from your wife, my lord?
No, Messala.
Nor nothing in your letters writ of her?
Nothing, Messala.
That methinks is strange.
Why ask you? Have you here you aught of her in yours?
No, my lord.
Now, as you are a Roman, tell me true.
Then like a Roman bared the truth I tell. For certain she is dead, and by strange manner.
Why, farewell, Portia. We must die, Messala. With meditating that she must die once, I have the patience to endure it now.
Even so great men, great losses should endure.
I have as much of this in art as you. But yet my nature could not bear it so.
Well, to our work alive. What do you think of marching to Philippi directly, presently?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
This it is. 'Tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall we waste his means, weary his soldiers, doing himself offence, while we, lying still, are full of rest, defence, and nimbleness.
Good reasons must of force give place to better. The people twixt Philippi and this ground do stand but in a forced affection, for they have grudged us contribution. The enemy, marching along by them shall make a fuller number up, come on refreshed, new added, and encouraged. From which advantage shall we cut him off, if at Philippi we do face him there. These people at our back.
Hear me, good brother.
Under your pardon, you must note beside that we have tried the utmost of our friends. Our legions are brimful, our cause is ripe. The enemy increaseth every day. We at the height are ready to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves, or lose our ventures.
Then, with your will, go on, wheel along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
The deep of night has crept upon our talk, and nature must obey necessity, which we will niggard with a little rest. There's no more to say.
No more. Good night. Early tomorrow will we rise, and hence.
Lucius enters.
Lucius, my gown. Farewell, good Messala. Good night, Titinius. Noble Cassius. Good night, and good repose.
Oh, my dear brother, this was an ill beginning of the night. Never come such division between our souls. Let it not, Brutus.
Lucius enters with the gown.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, good brother.
Good night, Lord Brutus.
Farewell, everyone.
Cassius exits.
Give me the gown. Where is thy instrument?
Here. In the tent.
What? Thou speakst drowsily? Poor knave, I blame thee not. Thou art o'erwatched. Call Claudio and some other of my men. I'll have them sleep on cushions in my tent.
Varus and Claudio.
Varus and Claudio enter.
Pause, my lord.
I pray you, sirs, lie in my tent and sleep. It may be I shall raise you up by and by on business to my brother Cassius.
So please you, we will stand and watch your pleasure.
I will it not have it so. Lie down, good sirs. It may be I shall otherwise bethink me. Oh, look, Lucius. Here is the book I sought for so long. I put it in the pocket of my gown.
I was sure your lordship did not give it me.
Bear with me, good boy. I am much forgetful. Canst thou hold up thy heavy eyes a while and touch thy instrument a strain or two?
Aye, my lord, and please you.
It does, my boy.
It's my duty, sir.
I would not have thy duty or charge thy strength.
Oh.
Where are we?
I have slept, my lord, already.
And shall sleep again.
No, it was well done, Antiochus.
Oh, just a moment. I've lost my line. One moment.
Yeah. Top of 102.
Uh-huh. I trouble thee too much, but thou art willing. I should not urge thy duty past thy might. I know young bloods look for a time of rest.
Well, I've slept, my lord, already.
It was well done, and thou shalt sleep again. I will not hold thee long. If I do live, I will be good to thee.
Music and a song.
Well,
This is a sleepy tune. O murderous slumbler, layest thou thy leaden mace upon my boy that plays thee music? Gentle knave, good night. I will not do thee so much wrong to wake thee. If thou dost not, thou breakst thy instrument. I'll take it from thee. And good boy, good night. Let me see. Is not the leaf turned down where I left reading? Here it is, I think.
Enter the ghost of Caesar.
How well this taper burns. Who comes here? I think it is the weakness of mine eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. It comes upon me. Art thou anything? Art thou some god? Some angel? Or some devil that makes my blood cold and my hair to stare? Speak to me what thou art.
Thy evil spirit, Brutus.
Why comest thou?
To tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Well then, I shall see thee again.
Aye, at Philippi.
Why, I will see thee at Philippi then. Now I have taken heart, thou vanishest. Ill spirit, I would hold more talk with thee. Boy, Lucius, Varus, Claudio, sirs, awake! Claudio!
Oh,
my lord.
what strings, my lord, are false?
He thinks he still is at his instrument. Lucius, I say.
My lord?
Didst thou so dream, Lucius, that thou didst cry out in thy sleep?
My lord, I did not know what I cried.
Aye, thou didst. Sawest thou anything more wondrous?
No, my lord, I saw nothing.
Varus, Claudio,
Sir?
didst thou see aught that thou criedst out in thy sleep?
Did we, my lord?
Aye, that thou didst. Saw you anything?
No, my lord, I saw nothing.
No, my lord, nothing, nor I, my lord.
Page 104.
In the middle, 104.
I saw nothing. I didn't see anything.
Go and commend me.
Go and commend me to my brother Cassius. Bid him set on his powers betimes before, and we will follow.
It shall be done, my
Be
lord.
done, my lord.
And they exit. Act 5. Enter Octavius, Antony, and their army.
Now, Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here. Answering before we do demand of them.
I am in their bosoms, and I know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit other places and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this face to fasten in our thoughts that they have courage. But 'tis not so.
A messenger enters.
He does, huh? Prepare your generals. The enemy comes on in gallant show. Their bloody sign of battle is hung out, and something to be done immediately.
Octavius, lead your battle softly on upon the left hand of the even field.
On the right hand, keep thou the left.
Why do you cross me in this exigent?
I do not cross you, but I will do so.
There's a march, a drum. Enter Brutus Cassius and their army.
They stand and would have parley.
Stand fast, Titinius. We must out and talk.
Antony, shall we give sign of battle?
No, Caesar. We will answer on their charge. Make forth. The generals would have some words.
Stir not until the signal.
Words before blows. Is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better, as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live, hail Caesar."
Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown, but for your words they rob the hibbler bees and leave them honeyless.
Not stingless, too.
Oh, yes, and soundless too, for you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely threat before you sting.
Villains, you did not so, when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes, and fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondmen kissing Caesar's feet, whilst damned Casca, like a cur behind, struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterers.
Flatterers? Now, Brutus, thank yourself, this tongue hath not offended so today, if Cassius might have ruled.
Come, the cause. If arguing make us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When think you that the sword goes up again? Never till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or till another Caesar have added slaughter to the sword of traitors.
Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands unless thou bringst them with thee.
So I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus' sword.
Oh, if thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst not die more honorably.
A peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor, joined with a masker and a reveler.
Old Cassius still.
Come, Antony, away. Defiant traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs.
Why not blow, wind, swell, billow, and swim, bark? The storm is up, and all is on the hazard.
Oh, Lucilius, a word with you.
Messala.
What says my general? It's not my line, but...
Messala, this is my birthday, as this very day was Cassius born. Give me thy hand, Messala. Be thou my witness that against my will, as Pompey was, I am compelled to set upon one battle all our liberties. You know that I held Epicurus strong and his opinion. Now I change my mind and partly credit things that do presage. Coming from Sardis on our former ensign, 2 mighty eagles fell, and there they perched, gorging and feeding from our soldiers' hands, who to Philippi here consorted us. This morning are they fled away and gone, and in their steads do ravens, crows, and kites fly o'er our heads, and downward look on us as we were sickly prey. Their shadows seem a canopy most fatal, under which our army lies, ready to give up the ghost.
Believe not so.
I but believe it partly, for I am fresh of spirit and resolved to meet all perils very constantly.
Even so, Lucilius.
Now, most noble Brutus, the gods today stand friendly, that we may, lovers in peace, lead on our days to age. But since the affairs of men rest still uncertain, let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, then is this the very last time we shall speak together. What are you then determined to do?
Even by the rule of that philosophy by which I did blame Cato for the death which he did give himself, I know not how, but I do find it cowardly and vile, for fear of what might befall, so to prevent the time of life, arming myself with patience, to stay the providence of some high powers that govern us below.
Then, if we lose this battle, you are contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome?
No, Cassius, no. Think not thou, noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this same day must end that work the Ides of March begun. And whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever, farewell, Cassius. If we do meet again, why, we shall smile. If not, why then this parting was well made.
Forever and forever, farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis true, this parting was well made.
Why then, lead on. Oh, that a man might know the end of this day's business ere it come. But it sufficeth that the day will end, and then the end is known. Come, ho, away!
And they exit. Act 5, Scene 2, an alarm. Brutus and Messala enter.
Ride, ride, Messala! Ride and give these bills unto the legions on the other side.
A loud alarm.
Let them set on at once, for I perceive but cool demeanor in Octavius's wing, and sudden push gives him the overthrow. Ride, ride, Messala! Let them all come down!
And he exits. Act 5, Scene 3, alarms. Enter Cassius and Titinius.
Oh, look, Titinius, look! All the villains fly. Myself have to mine own turned enemy. This ensign here of mine was turning back. I slew the coward and did take it from him.
Oh, Cassius! Brutus gave the word too early. Who, having some advantage on Octavius, took it too eagerly. His soldiers fell to spoil, whilst we by Antony are all enclosed.
Pindarus enters.
Fly further off, my lord. The Mark Antony is in your tents, my lord. Fly, therefore, noble Cassius, fly far off.
This hill is far enough. Look, look, Titinius. Are those my tents where I perceive the fire?
They are, my lord.
Titinius, if thou lovest me, mount thou my horse and hide thy spurs in him till he have brought thee up to yonder troops. And here again, that I may rest assured whether yon troops are friend or enemy.
I will be here again, even with a thought.
Titinius exits.
Up, Pindarus, get higher on that hill. My sight was ever thick. Regard, Titinius, and tell me what thou knowest about the field. This day I breathed first. Time is come round, and where I did begin, there shall I end. My life is run its compass. Sirrah, what news?
Oh, my lord!
What news?
Titinius is enclosed round about with horsemen that make to him on the spur, yet he spurs on. Now they are almost on him. Now Titinius, now some light. Oh, he lights too. He's ta'en.
There's a shout.
And hark, they shout for joy.
Oh, come down, behold no more. Oh, coward that I am, to live so long to see my best friend ta'en before my face.
Pindarus enters.
Come hither, Sirrah. In Parthia did I take thee prisoner, and then I swore thee, saving thy life, that whatsoever I did bid thee do, thou shouldst attempt it. Come now, keep thine oath. Now be a free man, and with this good sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search this bosom. Stand not to answer. Here, take thou the hilt. And when my face is cuffed, as 'tis now, guide thou the sword. Caesar, thou art revenged, even with the sword that killed thee.
So, I am free. Yet would not so have been, durst I have done my will. Oh, Cassius, far from this country, Pindarus shall run, where never Roman shall take note of him.
Enter Titinius and Messala.
It is but change, Titinius, for Octavius is overthrown by noble Brutus' power, as Cassius' legions are by Antony.
These tidings will well comfort Cassius.
Where did you leave him?
He's all disconsolate with Pindarus, his bondman on this hill.
Is not that he that lies upon the ground?
He lies not like the living. Oh, my heart.
Is not that he?
No, this was he, Messala. But Cassius is no more. Oh, setting sun, as in thy red rays thou dost sing tonight, so in his red blood Cassius' day is set. The sun of Rome is set. Our day is gone. Clouds, dews, and dangers come. Our deeds are done. The mistrust of my success hath done this deed.
Mistrust of good success hath done this deed. O hateful error, melancholy's child, why dost thou show to the apt thoughts of men the things that are not? O error soon conceived, thou never comest unto a happy birth, but killst the mother that engendered thee.
Pindarus, where art thou, Pindarus?
Seek him, Titinius, whilst I go to meet the noble Brutus, thrusting this report into his ears. I may say thrusting it, for piercing steel and darts envenomed shall be as welcome to the ears of Brutus as tidings of this sight.
Aye, you, Messala, and I will seek for Pindarus the while. Why dost thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Did I not meet thy friends? And did not they put on my brows this wreath of victory, and bid me give it thee? Didst thou not hear their shouts? Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything. Hold thee. Take this garland on thy brow. Thy Brutus give it thee, and I will do his bidding. Brutus, come apace, and see how I regard Caius Cassius. By your leaves, gods, this is a Roman's part. Come, Cassius' sword, and find Titinius' heart.
And Titinius dies. Alarm sounds. Enter Brutus, Messala, young Cato, Strato, Voluminous, and Lucilius.
Where, Messala, doth his body lie?
Lo yonder, and Titinius mourning it.
Titinius' face is turned upward.
Is slain.
Oh, Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords into our own proper entrails.
Oh, alarms sound.
Brave Titinius, look where he have not crowned dead Cassius.
Are yet 2 Romans living such as these? The last of all the Romans. Fare thee well. It is impossible that ever Rome should breed thy fellow. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time. Come therefore, and to Tarsus send his body. His funeral shall not be in our camp, lest it discomfort us. Lucilius, come, And come, young Cato, let us to the field. Labio and Flavio, set our battles on. 'Tis 3 o'clock, and Romans, yet ere night, we shall try fortune in a second fight.
They exit. Act 5, Scene 4. An alarm sounds. Enter Brutus, Messala, Cato, Lucilius, and Flavius.
Yet, countrymen, oh yet, hold up your heads!
What bastard doth not? Who will go with me? I will proclaim my name about the field. I am the son of Marcus Cato, ho, a foe to tyrants, and my country's friend. I am the son of Marcus Cato, ho!
Soldiers enter and they fight. Lucilius.
Lucilius, you're muted. Lucilius.
Lucilius is muted. Turn your mic.
Sorry. And I am Brutus, Marcus Brutus I. Brutus, my country's friend, know me for Brutus. O young and noble Cato, art thou down? Why now thou diest as bravely as Tintinius, and mayest be honored, being Cato's son.
Yield or thou diest.
Only I yield to die. There is so much that thou wilt kill me straight, kill Brutus, and be honored in his death.
We must not, a noble prisoner.
Antony enters.
Room ho, tell Antony Brutus is ta'en.
I'll tell thee news. Here comes the general. Brutus is ta'en, Brutus is ta'en, my lord.
Where is he?
Safe, Antony. Brutus is safe enough. I dare assure thee that no enemy shall ever take alive the noble Brutus. The gods defend him from so great a shame. When you do find him, or alive or dead, he will be found like Brutus, like himself.
This is not Brutus, friend, but I assure you a prize no less in worth. Keep this man safe. Give him all kindness. I had rather have such men my friends than enemies. Go on, and see where Brutus be alive or dead, and bring us word unto Octavius' tent, how everything is chanced.
They exit. Act 5, Scene 5. Enter Brutus, Dardanius, Clitus, Strato, and Volumenes.
Come, poor remains of friends. Rest on this rock.
Titilius showed the torchlight, but my lord, he came not back. He is or ta'en or slain.
Sit thee down, Clitus. Slaying is the word. It is a deed in fashion. Hark thee, Clitus.
What, I, my lord? No, not for all the world.
Peace then. No words.
I'd rather kill myself.
Hark thee, Dardanius.
Shall I do such a deed?
Oh, Dardanius.
Oh, Clitus.
What a request did Brutus make to thee?
To kill him, Clitus. Look, he meditates.
Now is that noble vessel full of grief that it runs over even at his eyes.
Come hither, good Volumnius. List a word.
What says my lord?
Why this, Volumnius? The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me 2 several times by night. At Sardis once, and this last night here in Philippi fields. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, I am sure it is, Volumnius. Thou seest the world, Volumnius, how it goes. Our enemies have beat us to the pit.
Low alarms sound.
It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Good Volumnius, thou knowest that we two went to school together. Even for that, our love of old. I prithee, hold thou my sword hilt whilst I run on it.
That's not an office for a friend, my lord.
The alarms continue.
Fly, fly, my lord. There is no tarrying here.
Farewell to you, and you, Volumnius. Strato, thou hast been all this while asleep. Farewell to thee too, Strato. Countrymen, my heart doth joy that yet in all my life I found no man but he was true to me. I shall have glory by this losing day, more than Octavius and Mark Antony by this vile conquest shall attain unto. So fare you well at once, for Brutus' tongue hath almost ended his live's history. Night hangs upon my eyes. My bones would rest, that have but labored to attain this hour.
Alarms, cries from within, fly, fly, fly.
Fly, my lord, fly.
Hence, I will follow. I prithee, Strato, stay thou by thy lord. Thou art a fellow of a good respect. Thy life hath had some smatch of honor in it. Hold then my sword, and turn away thy face while I do run on it. Wilt thou, Strato?
Give me your hand first. Fare thou well, my lord.
Farewell, good Strato. Caesar, now be still. I killed not thee with half so good a will.
And Brutus dies. Alarms sound, a retreat. Enter Antony, Octavius, Messala, Lucilius, and the army.
What man is that?
My master's man. Strato, where is thy master?
Free from the bondage you are in, Messala. For conquerors can but make a fire of him, for Brutus only overcame himself, and no man else hath honor by his death.
So Brutus should be found. I thank thee, Brutus, that thou hast proved Lucilius saying true.
All that served Brutus, I will entertain them. Fellow, wilt thou bestow thy time with me?
Aye, if Messala will prefer me to you.
Do so, good Messala.
How died my master, Strato?
I held the sword, and he did run on it.
Octavius, then take him to follow thee. That did the latest service to my master.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He, only in a general honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtue, let us use him with all respect and rites of burial. Within my tent his bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So call the field to rest, and let's away to part the glories of this happy day.
They all exit. End of play.
Yeah. Well done. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Also,
That was interesting.
Nice.
I like that.
Those of you, Angus and Ken and Virginia and Jennifer and Jackie, who did both of the readings today.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
And Asher too.
Yes. Right, and Asher as well, yes. And, yeah, a bunch of you guys. Wow. And Erica, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
It was fun. I learned a lot.
It was fun. It was like a total call. I haven't read Julius Caesar in like years. And I was like, okay, I can do it.
Mark Antony, I really liked you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, great Mark Antony. Excellent.
The reason it's taught in high schools is not so much about the politics, but because there's no sex in it.
Yeah.
I
There's no
thought
sex
Funny,
in it.
you know,
Good point.
Michael, in my high school textbook, they cut out the Porter scene from Macbeth, and I never knew about it until, after I got out of high school.
Yeah.
I played the porter. I played the porter once. I played her as a drunken French maid.
Nice.
It was really fun.
I like that.
Yeah. That was a good one, guys. That was a good one.
Yes, it was very good reading.
Well, I'm sorry Thea wasn't feeling well. I hope she feels better now.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
I think it's from the vaccine.
Yeah, she said it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did she get a second shot?
She did, and it was like 3 days ago, and she was feeling kind of like okay, but I Googled it because I Googled it, and some people did report the onset of, side effects up to like a week after getting the shot. So that's probably what it was.
Yeah, after my wife
crap.
got my wife in New York got the second shot, and there was a panic because I'm sitting in London. I'm 3,000 miles away, and there was a panic because her immune system reacted quite badly and started blocking her throat.
Oh no,
And-
she had an anaphylactic shock?
Well, the lymph nodes, which clear out all the garbage, started swelling up, and she was having difficulty breathing. So she had about 24 hours of getting quite concerned, but then it went away. It didn't last much longer than that.
I was really lucky. I've gotten both doses, and I had absolutely nothing the first time except for a little bit of soreness.
Yeah.
And then the second shot, I had a headache. That was
Yeah.
it.
That's exactly
Well, I've
what I
decided
had.
I am going to get the vaccine after all. I was kind of
you
opposed to it at first.
no,
but I
you
think I'm
should,
gonna
Michael.
Get it.
You really need to, Michael.
Except that I'm scared because I've been feeling under the weather this past week, and I don't know if it's from the dental or maybe I picked up a COVID. I haven't lost my taste though.
Well, talk when you go. If you do decide to go and talk to them and mention that, because they may consider that.
Yeah, they may tell you to wait.
They may tell you to wait a bit.
I know, and that's the problem is I've got to get to a dentist, and now I don't know what to do. I haven't even been tested, so I'll talk about this with somebody.
Because the doses